Hey guys, so I just came back from Bali. Not even 24 hours in the Philippines, and I'm here to attend one of the conferences I've been invited to. So I'm here at RESA, which I believe is one of the bigger retail conferences in the Philippines. So I'm excited to be here to share my story, share the things I know, and just answer the questions that they'll ask about. So I think here with us today are the marketers and the operators of different retail companies. So I'm looking forward to see them. Hello everyone, I'm Tryke Gutierrez, the co-founder and CEO of Tier 1 Entertainment. So if you're not familiar with the company, we're basically a talent management slash esports team owner slash production company around gaming and esports. So basically we own Blacklist International. So if you don't know about the brand, it's most likely a team that your kid or like your cousin or like your gamer relative follows. So just ask them and they'll know about it. Beyond that, we also manage multiple creators like Kong TV, Team Bayaman. So basically what Tier 1 is we're more of the modern version of Viva in gaming. So we're like a talent management company that builds IPs around their talents, and we monetize them through like working with brands. And one of the reasons why I'm here today is because also we started expanding into the retail side of the business, in which we have produced multiple items around Blacklist International, the team, and we were able to do 25 million total pesos in sales last year out of just two SKUs, which are Jersey 1, Jersey 2. So I think that's basically a good start, right? But hopefully like, we can do more SKUs this year and in the years to come. So the way Tier 1 sees it is, we don't look at distribution per se, we see distribution as just simple channels. But the real distribution for us is the KOLs that we manage, because the KOLs has their own gravitational pull towards a certain community. So whether you're a Mobile Legends player who plays a certain game and streams and creates content in different ways, or a PC Dota player that does this, or maybe you're a Lodi Goshing Fia who cosplays these costumes and shows off other parts of her life. Like what matters is every KOL will have their own realm of influence. And to us, that's what we focus on. And that's the reason why we feel like we've, in a way, broke the code of marketing, because yes, we don't have, we don't tap into other markets outside of gaming. But when we look at gaming in general, we see Gen Zs and millennials, and it being a center of interest with these two generations. And eventually Gen Alphas, right? So I think the way we approach things is that we want to really corner that influence of gaming and what it has, and then utilize the KOLs, the teams, and other IPs that we have, and then spread it out in all of the distribution channels that are out there. For some people's thought process, what they're thinking is that if you are a talent management company, that means you're very heavy on people, you're very heavy on like emotion management, people management in general, and that doesn't scale as easy as having a tech. Like being able to have 1,000 talents also mean you need to have an X amount of talent managers at the same time, right? So for that reason, we built on other things beyond talent management, because we understand the cap or like the ceiling of having just people in terms of like running a company. And I think from there, that's when we thought about IPs and technologies in general, right? So for Tier 1 Entertainment, though we are a talent management company, after building on IPs above our talents, after creating an esports team, what we thought about was we should be a tech-enabled company for us to scale. So what does that mean? That means that we need to be able to gather the right technology for us to not scale the talent management to, for example, 10 is to 100 talents versus like 1 is to 100 talents if we are tech enabled. So we have a social listening tool that allows us to be able to be objective about promoting and rewarding the talents that you have in the company. Because when you're managing 1,000 talents, technically you can treat them as 1,000 staff too, right? There needs to be a very objective-oriented promotional mechanism internally for you to be able to really reward them properly, because without that, it's going to be very political, and we don't want that as a company. I think that's second. I think third, we have really built a team around all of these consolidation points, which is a group called Business Intelligence, in which we're looking to create a Web3 technology. I mean, I know that NFT is such an overused word, right? But I think at the end of the day, it's a digital asset that can really be utilized in the future. So the way I see it, and the way Tier 1 sees it as well, is that we can eventually create loyalty programs around NFTs that will truly create a digital identity of your community and understand what's their behavior really, and how much do they engage. So we're really building towards that as well. And I think last but not the least, in terms of competition, probably the reason why Blacklist has been winning compared to the other teams is because we really consolidate all the data, meaning all the heroes that they used, all the map movements, all of these things to like use it or not. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't have an authoritarian environment where you just push, like a technology and say, no, use this. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the buy-ins of the people who will use it, and they don't like, like that technology to be applied to their work, then I think it's not gonna happen. And I think on the second point, it's very important to educate, right? Because resistance is always going to be there. But with proper education and equipping them with the right reasons of why you're doing it, I think we'll get the number one. So I think those two things are very important, because if you're on a C-level, like person, you usually look at the macro and say, no, this logically makes sense. Why don't you like it? But when you're on the ground and you have your day-to-days and all of these things, like at times you get caught in that whirlwind and say, no, this is just a distraction. So I think like we're all obligated to be able to educate people why we're doing it, and not just push something just because we believe it.
Tier 1, right? Tier 1 Entertainment. This is Nala of Rockbird Media. Thanks to Tryke for gracing our event as one of our speakers. Oh, diba?
Yan, and
On the spot.
And support them guys. So I had so much fun here. Yan, cheers. Okay, so finally done with RESA 2023. So it's a retail conference. Generally, like, I had so much fun. Just because I met new people, old people I also like new in the industry. And for me personally, like, it's very important for Tier 1 Entertainment to be able to be present in some conferences that are very important for us. So I'm just here happy to represent. Outside of that, I think I learned a lot, understanding how retail leaders think and how they really like visualize every step of the retail journey, and I think that's a learning experience for me. Outside of that, for me personally, I'm just happy to be back at it again, because I was in Bali for a while. That was a totally different experience, and there it was more of an esports experience. Today it's more of a hardcore business experience in the retail side. So I mean, this is I guess the life of a CEO, where you need to be able to jump from A to B quick with a different mindset for each. So for those who want to become like a businessman someday, it's very important that you understand what the context of every little or big thing you're going to be going to, and bring a different mindset every time, bring a different language every time, because it's very important that you get to connect to the people who are there. Peace.